Good morning, this is Kieran from Crypto Boost. Today is the 29th of June 2019 and I'm really happy to have you here with me today. Hope you had a great start into the weekend. And I've got some interesting news for you today, talking about money transfer giant XRP, the Ethereum Classic Hardfork, which is coming up, and Libra Cryptocurrency, and to top it off, Netflix next cryptocurrency documentary. So yeah, let's get started. XRP and Xrapid are the absolute right asset for global settlements. And this is an article by Daily Hodl. Ripple's new partner Moneygram is offering a closer look at how it plans to utilize Ripple's XRP-based cross-border payment solution XRapid. In a new interview with Cheddar, Moneygram CEO Alexander Holmes calls XRP the absolute right asset to use for international remittances. In the short term, Holmes says the company plans to use the technology on its back to improve the speed and efficiency of its platform. So the partnership really gives us a chance to speed this up and gives Ripple a chance to put a real-time meaningful value into the network and online and get that liquidity through the system. And I think it's going to show that from a platform perspective, XRapid and XRP as an asset is right one to use for settlement purposes. Now, longer term, we think this is a really interesting way to begin to think about how we facilitate cross-border payments through crypto and maybe get the consumers more directly involved in the front end of it. But really right now, it's about that settlement platform. It's about what they call their XRapid platform, which is about how do we do more dynamic foreign currency and settlement management on a real-time basis, enabling us to pair up those consumer transactions with the back-end need for liquidity in the markets. So Moneygram first started working with Ripple about a year and a half ago when it began an XRapid pilot test. Holmes said Ripple then approached the company and offered an outline of the current partnership, which was announced last week. So here comes Ripple with an amazing platform that has the opportunity for us to automate speed it up and do some great things utilizing that technology. I think it's great for us. It's good for them. We have a lot of liquidity around the world, something that all of crypto exchanges and platforms need in terms of facilitating those platforms. Those payments. Ripple launched xRapid for commercial use in October of last year and has officially opened one payment route between Mexico and the Philippines. So in my opinion, of course, it's very good that Moneygram is moving into the field. Now, I think it's crucial for them that they're moving into the field. Otherwise, they may end up being left behind with the cryptocurrency revolution as it's happening now, because remittances is a massive market, and at the moment the fees are very high. So different companies, Moneygram and so on, they have to remain competitive. And as a early adopter of cryptocurrency services such as enabled services such as XRapid are going to help the remittance market and Moneygram to be much more competitive. So that's good. That's good. And hopefully another aspect which I think is great is the thing is with remittances, it's not the rich people that often use these remittance payments, but it's lower class, maybe lower income people who are sending money back to their country of origin, and these people don't have that much. They don't have that many financial means to. So in the end, it's going to benefit them because they can use these remittance payments and hopefully have a reduction in fees in the future, because at the moment the remittance market is so profitable because the fees are so high. Now, on other news, talking about Ethereum discovering Atlantis. So Ethereum Classic Hardfork, and what will that change? So Ethereum Classic is actually the original chain of the Ethereum blockchain Ethereum is the hard forked version. On June 19, the Ethereum Classic ETC community announced that the Atlantis hard fork is now in its testing stage. The update is scheduled for September and will take place on block 8.75 million. ETC Labs, which actively contributed to the Atlantis project, will soon introduce another solution for Ether. ETC interoperability being part of Metronome Validator Network. This move brings transparency on certain aspects of the upcoming upgrade. So a quick backstory: ETC itself was introduced after the DAO attack back in 2016, when 3.6 million Ethereum had been stolen within the first few hours. At the time, this was equal to $70 million. And to reverse the malicious transaction, Ethereum hard forked and thus gave birth to Ethereum Classic. So basically, the decision was made to make a hard fork, reverse this transaction, and that's how the Ethereum as we know it now came about. But some people were opposed to this. But basically, that's what happens with a hard fork normally. If it's if there's not complete consensus, then there are two chains afterwards. And then now we're talking about the Ethereum Classic, so basically that version of the chain which didn't reverse those transactions. At present, Ethereum Classic is the 19th biggest cryptocurrency, as its market capitalization of over $883 million according to coin360.com. However, let's take a deeper look at the motivation, technicalities, and potential consequences of this hard fork. So first of all, why do we need this hard fork? And basically, a hard fork is a radical change to a protocol of a blockchain, which can be carried out to reverse transactions, add new functionality, or fix security risks. Unlike the previous time when the DAO was attacked, the hard fork is more of a beneficial renewal rather than a necessary measure. And now Atlantis is a consistent, no-rush update that would ensure compatibility of ETC with Ethereum, leading to an easier collaboration of sibling blockchains. The team also intends to improve the functionality and stability of ETC. Last point is especially relevant as the network had experienced a 51% attack last January, which is not very good that happened. So who's involved? There are different companies which are involved. Main client is Classic F, which 68% of the network uses. ETC Labs has collaborated with chain safe systems and so on. Now to more interesting parts: reaching consensus on schedule. So yeah, this is talking about the block numbers where the hard fork would happen, and that's at around 8.5 million. So the hard fork will be implemented at block 8,500,000. So, however, bearing in mind that the chosen block would run on Sunday, ETC Labs adjusted the schedule during Ethereum Classic improvement, finally calling on June 20 ETC Labs. So the actual number is going to be 8,772,000, which will be hit on a Tuesday, September 17 around noon. Now, the community has had a number of meetings to discuss timing scopes and so on. I think this is not as relevant as we like. So talking about the information, what Atlantis is actually about. Atlantis is there to incorporate multiple Ethereum improvement protocols, EEPs, that have been around on Ethereum for some years already. So you can compare this like to XP service pack updates when they came out, and you would have to like have Windows 7 service pack updates and so on. So maybe it's a good metaphor, maybe not. ETC Labs core described some of the features of ECP 1054 Atlantis in a blog post. You can read that. I can link this down below. Overall, the updates consist of 10 improvement proposals, and the one interesting part is improvements to stability on opcode upgrades, precompiled contracts to improve ZK snark zero knowledge confirmation, which is actually quite interesting. This allows for zero knowledge checks, so you can check if information is correct without knowing what's in this information. And also performance related improvements and enhanced security. So here, this zero knowledge succinct non-interactive argument, so SNARKs, argument of knowledge, is the core of ECIP 1054. What hides behind the spooky title is a familiar zero knowledge proof. So that's just what I said. Basically, you can prove that something is correct without having any knowledge on the content, and that's very important, especially if it's sensitive data. It implies that no interaction between prover and verifier is needed, which allows one to prove X without having to convey any information to the verifier other than they know X. So following that, a bit more of technical jargon. I'll skip this as I think it's not as relevant. I think that these SNARKs update is the most relevant part of this this hard fork. Now, these rules can simply be applied to transaction validation rather than block validation, making it a soft fork rather than a hard fork. It's vitally important to stick to pre-agreed rules when they're defined. Now, I think this aspect is also very interesting because many people are going to wonder, okay, now with a hard fork, most hard forks that people have experienced have led to a second chain, like the Ethereum Classic and Ethereum, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and so on. And very often the price effect that this has is that the pricing increases massively before the hard fork, because people are expecting free money from the second coin that they will receive. However, taking into consideration all of the changes that the Atlantis hard fork will bring to the ecosystem, a rather successful adoption of the update can be expected. It's been positively accepted by the stakeholders as a cause to demonstrate the community found consensus. This will not split the chain. So that means that there will not be a second Ethereum Classic Cash or something like that. Maybe there is already, but basically this hard fork will not split the chain, and people will not get free money based on this hard fork. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that the coin will not pump nonetheless, because people will probably not realize that there's not going to be free coins, but don't expect a huge influx in price gains due to this hard fork. But I think it's still interesting that they're doing this. Now, on other note, cryptocurrency, which many people believe is not really a cryptocurrency, and that's the Libra cryptocurrency by Facebook. So Libra cryptocurrency, you've already heard about it. I talked about it a few times. It's a cryptocurrency announced by Facebook, which was announced on the 18th, on June 18, may become a fresh breath in the global financial system. So let's see about that. Libra is a very promising initiative that is going to bring financial systems to a new level. It is aimed at fast and secure money transactions for everyone around the globe. Now, one thing I'm sure about Libra is it's probably going to be accepted by many people, because one, it's going to be launched on a platform which has billions of billions of users, Facebook. And it's probably going to make it so easy that anyone's grandma can just like buy coins, send them to anyone around the world without thinking about private keys and so on. And that's why I believe it's probably going to be successful, but I don't think it's going to be taking over or taking the place of any other cryptocurrencies that we have got. Now, the basics about Libra. Libra cryptocurrency is powered by Libra blockchain that underlies the high security level of the system. The project is controlled by Swiss Fund and a consortium of companies led by Facebook. It is backed by a Libra reserve and is supported by assets in 4 major currencies: USD, Euro, Japanese Yen, and British Pound. So basically, it's a stable currency backed by fiat, which is backed by belief that everything will remain the same price. So Libra project is governed by the Independent Libra Association, which with evolving the ecosystem. All in all, Libra cryptocurrency has ambitions to become a global currency. So I'm not too happy about this. There are some images going around the internet with, it's like a bit of a joke, but it still has a pinch of truth to it, and it basically goes like this. You've got a message which says, you have done this transaction and it goes against Facebook's terms or Libra's terms of service. Your wallet has been closed for 2 weeks. And I'm not sure how much truth is going to be towards that, but I'm not too happy about a company which is already not very good with the data privacy regulations and so on, to start being a financial overlord, controlling the world's monetary supply. So I'm not too happy about that, but yeah, here's a quick infographic about Libra so you can stay up to date and know what it's about, some more information. And mission of Libra, it's basically a global currency and financial infrastructure, so basically a stable coin. And their vision is revamp money, revolutionize the global economy for better lives. Vision of Libra. Libra is a cryptocurrency built on blockchain technology with which one can send, spend, and secure their money. It allows a more comprehensive global financial system. Now, the thing is with it being backed with different fiat cryptocurrencies, it's going to be still... it will still suffer from inflation. So I guess maybe for payments it might work, but to save your hard-earned cash there and use it as an investment platform is probably not the best idea. Now, the role of Libra, it works to evolve and scale the network and reserves. It supports financial systems inclusions. It collaborates with global communities and policymakers to help the Libra mission. Now, why Libra? Of 7 billion people, 1.7 billion are unbanked, and that's 31% of the global population. Now, you have to remember, Facebook is banned in China, so probably Libra won't be accessible in China. I would doubt it that the Chinese government is going to allow people to use Libra, and they'll probably use any means possible to block it. So, and there are also other governments which are not too happy about the power that Facebook has, and yeah, I'm not so sure if all governments are going to be as welcoming as towards this new currency. So for those who do have access, costs are high. On average, it costs 7% to send money internationally, and the world still runs on cash. 85% of global transactions use cash. Cash can be hard to move around and easy to steal. Now, and costs are higher for the poor. On average, the unbanked pay $4 higher fees per month for cash access. So no matter where you are, where you live, and what you do, Libra is built to make money for work for everyone. Yeah, this statement is probably not exactly true. And yeah, I think we'd have to figure out and see as soon as it actually launches and working, which countries are going to be banning Libra, because it will undermine their own currency if people start using it, and governments definitely don't like that. Now here we're talking about this, how you can send it, mobile sending. It's supposed to be stable. Basically, it's based on the different fiat currencies. If they remain stable, however, with most fiat currencies, they have their certain inflation percentage per year. So basically, Libra will have the same inflation as fiat currencies, and secure and so on. So in my opinion, I think it's going to be easy for people to use. I think it also depends on the regulations and so on. One thing that might be good is maybe people become more aware of blockchain as a whole, and they might use Libra to buy other cryptocurrencies, which they are more fond of the principles and fundamentals behind them. So I don't think people who are going to be buying Libra are actually buying it because they believe in ethics and believe in Facebook as a company, but more as a utility and an easy way to send money. And I think most people are quite lazy, and if something is very easy and they don't have to learn too much about it, then they're probably going to be using it. So especially if it's going to be as a small app or wallet on WhatsApp, then that will also make the adoption of Libra currency quite widespread, because they've got the users. So yeah, I think we have to see and find out how it will work. So there are quite many companies which are working with Libra, and these are the network partners which will act like as nodes. So you've got different credit card processor companies. You've got also Coinbase, which interestingly enough, they probably act as they'll probably host Libra and sell Libra. It's a lot of money that they get probably in the future. So yeah, we've got another credit card processing company, MasterCard, Stripe, and we've got eBay, which is interesting. Does that mean that maybe in the future we're going to be able to use Libra to buy stuff on eBay? Yeah, but maybe let's see. So now Netflix, I'm sure you like Netflix. Now Netflix, they had one very good documentary banking on Bitcoin, and now they're launching a new one. Netflix next cryptocurrency documentary is all about altcoins. So US streaming giant Netflix is reportedly set to launch another cryptocurrency themed documentary, and this time it's focused on the altcoin market. So Netflix is interviewing altcoin luminaries. Rumors of a possible altcoin sequel began surfacing earlier in 2019, with the company wanting to shine a light on the crypto space beyond only Bitcoin. Details about the project remain scanty, with Netflix reportedly keeping a tight lid on the production. Now, a Netflix documentary about altcoins could help to educate people outside the crypto industry about other tokens that exist apart from Bitcoin and what kind of utilities there are. So you talk to people, most of them, they might have heard about Bitcoin, but they definitely haven't heard of any other currencies. Most people you ask, they might have heard about Bitcoin, but generally they haven't heard about any other altcoins, and they're probably also not aware of what kind of potential the blockchain has. And by showing them the different services that altcoins can provide, like the companies that have these altcoins, and I think it just might help adoption a bit. So data from coinmarketcap.com shows that there are more than 2,200 different cryptocurrencies in existence, but of course Bitcoin remains the dominant species, wielding a 63% control of the total market capitalization. So yeah, basically everything like books, media and so on talking about cryptocurrencies, I'm super happy about, because it just means that more people will hear about it and realize what kind of potential it has, and it will increase more adoption. And the more people are interested in these areas, the more businesses are going to have to adapt and offer either maybe paying their employees in cryptocurrency, or maybe even accepting cryptocurrency payments for their services and so on. So I just see very good news, even if it's maybe not in the best light. I think any news is good, because people will have at least heard about it, and when they hear about it, they might start researching on what exactly the different uses are for blockchain and so on. So that was it for today. I'll catch you on the next one, and have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye bye.